Just taking a stroll, man.
When you really get down to it, there's only two reasons you'd enter the woods. Either it was for your own leisure, or there was some more pressing matter.
A need or a want.
And which do you suppose it was?
Your testimony thus far suggests that you and your daughter were winding down for the night. On top of that, you'd just had a big mess in your home which needed cleaning up. Now was not the time to be wandering around outside just because. You left your home because it was absolutely necessary. You needed to find something.
Don't be a silly lad. There weren't nothing to find out there.
When you were in the woods, you heard two voices. Why did you go to them?
Doesn't rightly matter now, does it?
Yeah.
I'd say it does. I think you recognized one voice and just who you were searching for.
He was looking for a person?
That's right, and I think I know who it was. All these cleverly hidden lies are about to unfold. I haven't figured out. Mr. Hood used to be a defense attorney. He's just doing his job. He's defending somebody. That's why he's going after Miss Porter. He doesn't want me to even consider pursuing the person he saw. With that in mind, who would he have been searching for? Pearl!
His daughter.
Gladys!
Gladys.
You didn't report the murder for a whole month. Now you're pursuing Miss Porter just because Trucy thinks you might have seen a woman. But really, you just wanted me to back down from a female suspect. You thought you knew the young woman you saw that night, and it wasn't Gladys Porter. You're trying to protect her.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
What?
Ooh.
What is that?
His hands aren't even touching the bench.
I'm playing a jet fighter game!
Out with it. Say it, damn you.
Say it, damn you!
You were looking for your daughter. You saw her speaking to a strange man, then the next day you found the grave. Doesn't take an Einstein to connect these dots.
Gobshite! It weren't her I saw!
I like that.
Then why did you leave your home and go into the woods?
Can't say I recall the reason!
I can't? Okay.
On.
Well, I mean, I heard gobshite, so...
But do I need one?
I can leave me house just as much as I please! I wasn't even gone that bloody long!
Your alibi and Jane's rest on the assumption that you two were together. If you weren't at home, neither of you is cleared. You or she could have been anywhere, even speaking to our mysterious man.
You blooming twit! You can't just pull nonsense out of your arse! The two of us didn't kill no one! You're just grasping!
But Hood. Nobody said nothing about killing. I must concur. His daughter's statement to the police closely matches his own. They clearly.
Yeah,
Whatever. Carm, I'm not getting into it with you. Are you sure about this?
Their statements would match if they conspired together. We know Mr. Hood was doing something out there. At the very least, this means his daughter was unsupervised the whole time he was gone. At most, she might not have been home to begin with. That is not good.
I won't stand for none of this, no sir! We got our alibis and you can't accuse neither of us! I even told you about the whole story the other day!
Oh my god.
Jane and me been having a late meal when she spilled something.
We had to clean it up.
It took us a wee bit to clean the spot. I cut myself whilst doing it.
I left briefly for some reason. Can't recall why. But I was only gone for a few minutes. Just enough to see those two and run back.
When I got back, me daughter was still happily cleaning her mess and lighting the family dog on fire.
Oh no, Danny. And that's all I've got to say. Jane told just the same to the police. The prosecution will confirm this. Both stories matched up well. At least in any matter related to the murder. What's this about an injury? Where did you get hurt?
He got hurt right in the wine bottle.
Yeah.
Caught me hand. It was just a wee accident.
No need to worry.
It weren't that bad.
Yesterday you said a glass bottle of grape juice shattered, and that's how it happened.
Phoenix Wright, what are you talking about? We all know what was in that bottle.
Exactly, grape juice. Okay.
I was already laughing. Might as well go for it.
Okay. So you made him a doofus sidekick?
Yep.
Like a... The boss is number 2?
Yep. Why not?
Because
The contents don't matter much.
This character is just a fucking dump pot.
Yes, the bottle broke and I cut myself helping clean it.
I would imagine you threw out the actual bottle quite some time ago.
No, I've got it in my court record.
Of course. That's what you do with broken glass, isn't it?
It'd be mighty dangerous leaving it out.
A month's a long time for evidence to disappear. It's just Mr. Hood's word to go on. But if they're conspiring, of course he said the same as his daughter.
Jane's told the same story. If they match up, it'll be hard to fight. Disappearing evidence. Is that what happened? There certainly isn't much to go on.
Well, do what we do best.
Why is Von Karma even here?
Because Edgeworth couldn't come in. He was too busy.
But it's like she's pointless. She does nothing for this. I'm fighting Hood. I'm not even fighting her.
I know.
Juice bottles aren't known for breaking easily. They're sturdier than you'd think. Probably for this very reason.
It's like, I know, I was addicted to it.
She would have had to put a bit of force into it.
You say it were intentional. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
It happened.
An accident? Or Jane getting ready for an Old West-style brawl? She's like 16. In the context of this case, it might not matter. They have an alibi either way. And likewise for Miss Porter. Well, better move on for now. How bad was it?
Nothing I couldn't treat myself. I didn't need no stitches or the like, but it was a pretty nasty cut, aye?
Did you go to the hospital?
Nah, not too fond of those places. Besides, there weren't no need to. I patched myself up just fine.
Not the best work, but it got the job done.
I've not been looking forward to him in the courtroom ever since we met him.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a hospital report or any paper trail for the wound. But if it really wasn't that bad, there'd be no need for it. What? There would be? Did I read that wrong?
There would be no need for it.
I briefly left.
You just forgot?
It was last month. Do you remember every little detail from that long ago?
Well, this was a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, if I got cut, I would remember it.
Yeah. Seeing two people at a murder scene seems important enough to remember.
That too. And it was. Put it right out. No, that's you.
Put it right out overshadowed what came before. Everything before I left me home is blank. Nothing matters compared to a murder.
You at least remembered cutting yourself.
Aye, because it was bloomin' painful.
This isn't getting anything useful out of him. Better continue on. You had to walk 1 kilometer and back. That only took a few minutes? Are you a marathon sprinter?
I am Usain Bolt.
The way home I weren't just what? The way home I weren't just walking, let me tell you.
He wasn't just walking home.
I get that, but fucking Christ.
All in all, I was only outside for 15-20 minutes.
That doesn't give me enough time to kill a chap. clean the mess and bury him.
I mean, 20 minutes is a very long time.
But is 20 minutes long enough to run a kilometer and back?
Apparently for him.
Run a kilometer, kill a chat, bury him, and run back.
Apparently it would be. And Jane was in the house when I left, and there when I got back. Just ask her.
And before you say anything more, I deny I was out looking for her.
Of course you would.
I think I'd remember something like that, I would. You'd have to show some evidence if it... What? You'd have shown some evidence if it were true, wouldn't you, Phoenix Wright?
We don't know nearly enough about how Virgil Black died, nor do we have the evidence to prove anything. Any evidence at all. You just left her at home all alone?
Maybe she's 16! Maybe it weren't the smartest choice, but she's a grown lass. She can handle herself.
I was getting left at home alone when I was 13, 10, somewhere around there.
Don't worry, different parenting styles. Besides, have you seen her? He needs to be constantly watching. She has fangs.
She seems rather unhinged.
She has red eyes.
Well, that's normal sometimes.
No.
I mean, it's not normal, but
This
you know,
isn't
it happens.
anime.
It happens. Have those albino people.
They don't have red eyes, do they?
Yeah. We live alone, so I don't normally need to worry about her.
Besides, I'm sure you've done a few things you shouldn't have as well.
His eyes are red too. A few doesn't even begin to cover it.
Thank you for that, Francisca.
Why are you here?
You have no way of knowing what Jane was up to the whole time you were gone.
I suppose not, but she's a teenage girl.
She can take care of herself for half an hour. Anyhow, she'd have to be mighty packing.
She'd have to be mighty fucking.
Mighty fast and sneaky to get to the murder scene ahead of me. That's what really matters, don't it? Funny, I recall this being a trial for murder, not poor parenting.
Oh, we'll lump it together.
She wouldn't have to be fast at all if she was already out there. But is there any way to prove that? Gack! And once again, I can't find anything.
Aye, there's the face of a man who knows he's been beaten.
If the defense has no further questions, I'll have to assume they cannot disprove the alibi. Mr. Hood and his daughter were not apart long enough for there to be any doubt as to their innocence. Further inquiry must be made into Miss Gladys Porter.
Objection!
Sounds like a robot. Further inquiry must be...
Shut up.
How absurd. The defendant was the only suspect until this man took the stand. He is your witness. Did you not know what he might say?
She's not a part of this case.
He's unpredictable. He must be removed immediately. Denied! We've yet to find anything contradicting his argument. If somebody other than the defendant is guilty, then so be it. There is nothing more to discuss.
Miss
Put her
Porter's
foot
not
down.
gonna like this. If I'm right and these alibis are a sham, something must be off. We need some solid evidence to break through them. But the only thing which might clear that up would be... It's a long shot. Mr. Hood, would you mind showing the court where you hurt yourself?
It would be me pleasure, lad. Here, it was a cut from a wine bottle. What the...
He was stabbed.
Oh.
Black was stabbed in the lung. God damn it, really?
Take a look at it. The witness wasn't lying about that. We checked. There's clearly a cut on his hand, likely from broken glass. He really did get hurt, but that proves the story.
How?
Because he got hurt.
Aye!
And that cements our innocence.
You'd best give up on it.
All that mystery. Oh! Now I see why you all Took me a second. Objection! Oh, now I see why you all love to shout like that.
Haven't you done it before?
Oh, I don't shout. I'm sorry. But I did have a question. I hope none of you mind. You're the judge. Witness, didn't you say you were hurt over a month ago?
That's what I was getting ready to say before I realized that she stabbed him.
Yeah, why do you still have the bandage? Why is your hand still wrapped up?
Your Honor, that's...
Actually very good. Actually a really good question.
Everybody's just surprised.
Even the gallery is stunned. Oh, you thought so? Thank you. Witness, why do you still have it bandaged? That's an excellent point.
I think I might have an idea why his hand is still bandaged.
It happened
It was a really bad cut.
really bad cut. It's a different wound.
I mean, the 3 of these are the same thing!
He never actually hurt himself.
It was a nice try, Mr. Hood, but this is one lie you couldn't keep hidden. The witness himself told us the cut wasn't serious. Only a hospital-worthy injury would still be visible or in need of bandages. Mr. Hood, did you think you were being sneaky when you concocted your little tale?
Concocted tail.
Surely you're not suggesting I do anything devious.
I don't have a tail.
Alright, well, we were wrong, but still. You might if it was to give your daughter an alibi. I have no doubt you really did cut yourself on some broken glass. But it wasn't the night Virgil Black was murdered.
You gotta stop doing it. A perjurer, is it?
Is that what you're saying I am?
Yes. Unfortunately, Finnegan Hood, a man with your record, cannot claim to be honest. Record? What record? Miss Von Karma, what are you saying? The witness used to be an attorney, but he is no longer because he was disbarred for evidence of forgery. He has a history of lying in court, and now he's doing it again.
You discredit your own witness!
Yeah? You're doing that yourself. I've known this whole time the cut on your hand couldn't be more than a few why didn't you? I kept silent about it to see what you would try to... You're bullshitting.
Yeah.
Your reaction to the judge pointing that out says it all.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Franny. You disappointed me.
He looks like his head is too small for his body.
He looks like he's, trying to direct air traffic. Come on!
Alright! Alright!
It doesn't look like he's slamming the desk. I know it's like his hand is bandaged and it hurts, but it's still...
His other hand isn't.
But I don't know. Well, if it wasn't a month ago, when did it happen?
The prosecution says just a few days ago. Mr. Hood's told us a lot about a month back, so we know he was plenty busy?
Yeah.
What?
Pretty bit.
But looking back on it, isn't that strange? Why have we heard hardly anything about him, anything from him about this event? What?
What?
I have no clue. Mr. Hood, you're lying!
You're lying about everything, including this bottle. Hey, Jane.
I have no idea what they're trying to tell me here. What event? What are we talking about? Him getting cut?
Rosencrantz's autopsy.
Rosencrantz's? You mean James?
Yeah.
Stop looking at the walkthrough.
You're confused, man. I'm pulling an audible.
Isn't it calling an audible?
I'm pulling an audible.
I'm pulling this Audible sponsorship right here out of my bag. You know, you can get a free audio.
With all of our mistakes intact.
When you cut yourself, what did you need to do?
It's 20% off. Well, I'd suppose you need to wash it, sterilize it, so that it didn't get infected. And, of course, wrap it up well.
And then you'd need to clean up whatever caused it. In this case, it was a broken bottle full of messy liquid.
It's the
Okay.
liquid.
It must have gone everywhere. And yet, when I went to his home, I didn't see anything. It must have taken quite a while to get those stains out. Maybe an entire night. Hey!
Seems about right.
You do have an alibi, I can't deny that. But it's for the wrong murder. Blasted! You cut yourself the night of the Rosencrantz murder. With several suspects and people fighting all around, you should have noticed. But of course, you wouldn't if you spent the entire time cleaning and fixing your hand.
Why on earth would he lie about an alibi that he already had?
He needed an alibi for Guildenstern, not Rosencrantz. He saw Jane a month back when Mr. Black was killed. They needed alibis for then, not later.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Update the bottle. His daughter backed up his story, didn't she? That means she lied to the police too. Throw her in jail.
If she wasn't with the witness, she could have been anywhere. She had to agree with whatever he came up with to stay safe. But now neither he nor Jane can be accounted for during the Black murder. Come up with a different wording, please.
I mean, we already have the other name. I don't know why we're flip-flopping constantly.
Strictly speaking, you've still yet to prove anything. Aye, I'll admit me alibi for Guildenstern's looking a tad weak. But as long as I've got an airtight story for one murder, all's well.
What do you have to say about your whereabouts for the Guildenstern case now?
Precisely the same as before, minus getting cut.
I left the house for just a few minutes and then came right back.
You might even say it works out better for me this way. I don't know why I didn't think of it before.
The same culprit killed both victims, is that it?
You do it, Jones, if you won't fucking read it. Jane and me have got some great alibis for Mr. Rosencrantz. And it's said you proved me wrong for Mr. Guildenstern, too.
I did just prove that. Why did he lie about something so simple that even the judge saw it? Jesus. Now he might be arrested for perjury. Well, apparently, as we've seen, perjury means jack shut.
Yep.
I mean, come on!
I just got released on bail for perjury.
Why would he make such an easily spotted mistake?
Could it be just a slip-up?
I don't think so. Mr. Hood's been extremely clever up until now. If it was just a slip-up, then why is he smiling?
Bad feeling. I've got a really bad feeling.
Me too. He meant for us to call out his lie.
But why make himself and Jane look guilty?
Don't you see? He didn't. I just proved they have an alibi, and like he said, I didn't even discredit his actual story. In fact, I strengthened it. Because Franziska and I proved it together, nobody's ever going to question any of it. In the jury's eyes, neither could possibly be the killer.
Bad feeling just got worse. Do you still think he's covering up?
Do I? Why else would he be pressing like this? A perjury sentence seems much better than one for murder. If that's the case, it would be completely rational to throw himself under the bus. With as little evidence as I have, I could never accuse either of them. Nobody else realizes it, but he's still running this trial.
The witness has admitted to perjury. Will the prosecution wish to amend their stance? Why should we? He says he saw two people. One may or may not have been the suspect. And there's still the matter of Rosencrantz.
Aye!
The Porter woman was there too. She was not the killer. We've already accused that man.
Nobody's getting convicted until we have some answers. Witness, how can you accuse her of killing Rosencrantz? Where were you to see it? Oi! Oi! I thought I was cutting me hand, you said. What the fuck? Exactly. If the bottle incident happened then and you stayed in your house, you wouldn't have had a clue as to what was going on outside.
I know she was there. I know she's connected somehow. I know she's a liar.
The argument's that the one at both crimes must be the killer. It's either her or your client.
Okay. Let me throw this out there. It's not the same killer.
No, I mean, he's very insistent. It is.
Your daughter stabbed Guildenstern, then you killed him, and then somebody else killed Rosencrantz.
You were right there.
Not that difficult of a theory to come up with.
Plus, you were the first person we saw when we came up to the house. Witness, I have a proposal to make.
Aye?
The prosecution will hold off on indicting you for perjury, but only if you can clear this up for us. You will testify thoroughly on any theories you have on Gladys Porter. Once the defense has disproven everything, the court will have no choice. We'll be back down to only a single suspect. And if he doesn't prove me wrong... Oh, he will, but if he doesn't, I'll whip him.
You got a deal, ma'am. Why don't we quit all the beating around the bush, then? I know you can't disprove me seeing her in black, so it's time for something different.
I'm going Super Saiyan. Let's go on with Mr. Rosencrantz.
Gladys Porter's your killer. No matter what you think, I know enough to see that.
And...
Alright, this is where we're gonna stop this recording.